The YouTubers don't get this.
No, they don't. It's the best part of the show.
Yeah, you never know what we're doing right now.
I feel like that didn't hit as hard today.
Whoa.
Was the volume turned down?
No, it's your attitude that's turned down.
My ears are just closing up.
Yeah, I don't like it. Tyler had a heavy lunch today.
Yeah, about 40 minutes ago.
I'm going to go ahead and plug your headphones all the way in.
Oh, that would probably explain everything.
Yeah, it's been a problem the last couple times.
I'm not strong enough to plug the headphone jack in any longer.
He's losing his strength.
I'm getting weaker by the day.
It was brought to our attention today by a couple of Jebs that we've been slacking.
According to them.
Well,
according to
we've recorded.
Me and you.
Yeah.
I think we agree.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So print heads, devout print heads, I want to offer an apology. Tyler, of course, doesn't apologize for anything.
I'm not going to apologize.
We'll do better. I think we've definitely, things speed up a lot around here. End of the year. Come on, man. They do. Let's just admit it. It's a busy time of year for us. We're trying to get last minute deals out the door, make everybody happy. It's tough.
This is making me sick.
Dude, whatever.
This is making me sick.
So why? Because it's an excuse? Does it seem like an excuse to you? This is real.
I never want to be the person that has to say, we'll do better.
Oh, you don't want to be like Liver King?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just put me in a dark room. Can you bleep this out?
Don't bleep it out.
Go watch the video. I don't. Yeah.
The Liver King video?
Yeah.
Just do it.
No.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
You've got the beard right now, actually.
I've got a lot of what he's got.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Including the $6,000 a month Droid therapy that he's on.
I think that's an underestimate.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a big habit.
From those emails, you could see he made a plan and he executed on it. Everything else aside,
he was successful.
He was successful in what he set out to do. He was deceptive throughout the process, repeatedly and blatantly. But it's not easy to build.
This is the theme of our conversation that we were having off air just a minute ago.
It is, right. Yeah, that's true. What are you willing to do for clicks?
I don't like it. What are you willing to do for money?
I'm not a slave for clicks.
You subscribe to a YouTube channel that I despise. And it's all about clicks.
It's not even.
It's all about clicks.
I do subscribe,
the content is a self-aggrandizing, disgusting human being. Just kidding.
Whoa.
He's not a disgusting human being.
I was going to say you could name this channel, but now I don't think you can.
I'm not gonna.
No.
The content can be decent.
It was a previous YouTube of the day.
It's the attitude of this particular individual, and just you can tell he just gets such a rise off of being the do-gooder and the hero. He really loves it. There's no way he could ever do something good and not film it and not get the clicks and the views that he's entitled to. You gonna stand up for him?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say you and I agree completely. It's just I give him somewhat of a pass.
But you like it.
But I like it. He does good content.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
We're definitely not talking about the Rocket Man.
No. Did you see
He's so
Santa,
cool.
his Santa video?
No.
He dresses up as Santa and gets on his rocket sleigh. How awesome is that?
That guy's so cool.
He's so cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's definitely not in it for the clicks, but he likes making people's day.
But he's not in it for the clicks.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I won't apologize for anything then, because I haven't used any steroids that I know of.
Have you used any podcast in performing enhancing drugs?
No, definitely not. If you can count an empanada, which seems to be making you lacking today.
Yeah. Sorry. My brain gets
all fogged up when he has beef.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Jiminy. All right. Well, welcome to the podcast. This is episode 58.
Is it really?
Episode 58.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It seems like we were at 57 about 8 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's true.
We're cooking.
We're ending the year nicely.
Yeah. I bet we could squeeze in at least one more.
Maybe. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything new with you? Did you finish any projects this year? This could be basically like almost a year in review. Like
I was not prepared to reach that far back.
You didn't want to? Well, is it done or not?
The year?
No, not the year. Your yard.
No, not even close. And now the ground's frozen.
Yeah.
You can't.
So no concrete.
Actually, I did pour some concrete. I put a concrete blanket over it. But digging in frozen ground doesn't work. It doesn't matter how much hydraulic power you have. You cannot dig in frozen ground.
With your Mini X. With a full-size excavator, you could do it.
You really don't want to. It's bad for the equipment. It's hard.
Some people got to keep working, winter or not.
Yeah, I mean, big stuff. Yeah. And once you get down below the frost line, it's not too bad. But here in Utah, the first 12 to 15 inches of the ground are frozen solid now.
No.
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Well, I won't be doing any yard work anytime soon. I will say this. I'm about to switch over to an electric lawnmower. I'm waiting for those babies to go on sale,
what are you
like
gonna
midwinter. I don't know.
Oh, you're on Cobalt though, right?
I did invest in Cobalt hand tools, but I'm willing to go like off.
You don't have any yard tools yet?
I have a weed whipper, a Cobalt weed whipper.
Is that what you call that thing?
Yeah. I picked that up when I worked at the golf course.
Wow.
I was back many eons ago. I used to work for a golf course.
I've heard many names for those.
Weed whipper.
But never weed whipper.
Yeah.
Huh.
Now you're not going to be able to not use it. The weed whipper.
No, I think I'll be able to.
Okay, fine. Whatever. So I do have an electric weed whipper, cordless.
Yeah.
I had one with a cord for a long time. It came with the house. I was like, yeah, I'll use this rather than go buy one. Not fun.
I have a corded electric chainsaw.
Oh, that's awful.
Weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't like that. Cordless is the way to go. But I think I'm willing to be brand agnostic and just, I have enough batteries for Cobalt and for my hand tools. I'm not I'm not in it for the batteries. And I've been happy with everything I have so far, but ready to.
We talked about it, but for yard tools, I went with Ryobi because they had a good selection.
Ego
has a great selection.
And they're actually cheaper than the Cobalt stuff too.
For real?
Mm-hmm. The replacement batteries may not be.
Cobalt's pretty proud of those, I guess.
I don't know.
Ego
they're nice tools. Cheap. Yeah, Ego's prices come down though. I think with all the competitors because they used to be like one of the first ones.
Yeah.
That had electric lawnmowers and all that stuff. I think they've dropped price.
And their battery technology does stand out in my mind.
You've bought stuff to reverse engineer out of their batteries. I just remembered. What was the thing?
Did I?
Yeah, you told me you bought this tool because you're just going to pull the battery and motor or something from it. You were going to build something.
We were talking about my manual lawnmower.
Oh, that's right. I remember. And you never did that.
No.
Gosh, dang it.
I ended up buying a Ryobi lawnmower and I was going to gut it. But now I'm ripping my lawn out, so I'm not going to do any of that.
Okay, no lawn.
No lawn.
You've fully committed to the dirt.
I'm going
farm.
Clover.
Oh, okay, that's cute. Nice. All right, makes sense with the beard and everything. I'm just messing with you.
The thing with the lawn is I had to weed the lawn. It was stupid.
Well, you can do things to counteract that.
Not on my property.
Oh, okay.
Not on my property.
Okay,
so
I got it.
I'm out there weeding the lawn because the grass doesn't
choke out
the native foliage.
I'm
hoping
you got to spray it out.
Yeah.
I knew you wouldn't. I did a project recently that I feel pretty proud of.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, my welding cart. I turned a file cabinet into a welding cart, or I turned a welding cart into a drawer adorning.
That makes it sound so ghetto.
It's a very nice welding cart that I designed. I 3D modeled it and everything. I executed the model on a fixture table. I welded it all up. It turned out really nice. The frame.
When you model that stuff, do you use Weldments in SolidWorks?
No.
Really?
Occasionally, but not on this project.
Why not?
I actually didn't even use SolidWorks on this one.
What'd you use?
Fusion 360. I know. Not popular. Not popular around here.
No.
I do feel like I have my use cases. Like I know when I like to use it.
Yeah.
I have the Fusion 360 app. It links up. I can look at it on my phone. I can take measurements on my phone. That sort of thing is useful. No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, this thing turned out really nice, but the bottom compartment area, I was just going to make into like a standard like metal drawer. And I realized very quickly that the drawer was going to cost more than the whole project. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Why did I do this? And so I started looking for like cheap alternatives, and I found toolboxes, like a handheld toolbox that had like a 3-drawer setup on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what I'll do. I'll just, I'll gut one of those, or I'll cut the top off it and weld it in. And it wasn't quite deep enough, so I was losing some volume. And I got online, started looking for some steel drawers that were just, I don't know. I was hoping for just some sheet metal that I could cut to size. And I found file cabinets, and I was like, dude, I should have thought of that before, because it's got the big long slider on it.
Yeah.
File cabinets are designed to come all the way out, and they extend a ton.
Hold a lot of weight.
Yes. So I was like, that's perfect. So I bought a file cabinet. I actually didn't even have to buy it. Someone was giving them away for free. So I went by, picked them up, stole the slides out of it.
You got more than what you wanted.
I got two extra file cabinets. I don't know what I'm going to do with. But I shrunk down the slides. I shrunk everything down so that it fit in that slot. And now I've got a sweet drawer on my welding cart.
Yeah, I like
She's
that.
almost done. I painted it.
Oh, yeah.
In the freezing cold.
How'd that work out?
The paint seems to be sticking. So I think I'm okay.
Nice.
Paint doesn't like to fly in 30-degree weather, but.
And you spray like HVLP? Did you use spray paint?
Yeah.
Oh, not a paint gun.
No. I've never used a paint gun. I've used a paint gun, but I've never had a paint gun set up at my house.
Oh, you should.
I may with my Bronco later on.
Yeah. I painted a bed frame this year with a paint gun.
Oh, yeah.
And it was hands down way, way, way better.
Faster, easier.
I wouldn't say it was faster.
Quality, though.
But the quality was like tremendously better than just a
rattle
can.
Can.
Paint. Uh-huh.
I use that high-end stuff, though. Rust-Oleum, hard hat.
Yeah.
It's not like the cheap Rust-Oleum that you get at Home Depot. It's the stuff, it's like $15 or $16 a can.
I would be surprised if you could match the quality. I mean, it's a welding cart. It's a tool in the garage. You probably don't need it.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I did a decent job, but it ain't the prettiest.
I would say if furniture goes in your house, you should spray it.
I'm thinking more automotive.
In order to
panel painting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Although there's guys that like roll Rust-Oleum.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Not on automotive.
It's all over YouTube.
No way.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
So you know what I do to keep the moisture down in my airlines when I paint?
Kitty litter?
Yeah. Yeah, like the crystal kitty litter. Mm-hmm.
Worked pretty good?
Yeah. I have steel pipe that's like 3-inch diameter.
You could just get like an exhaust pipe or something, couldn't you? And
you're
neck
running
it down.
pressurized air through it.
Yeah. You just, 70 to 90 PSI?
I don't know. I regulate it at the gun. So I have like 100 PSI in it. It's like a bomb. It's cool.
Can you edit that out? Can we just can we throw the bleep on that one?
It's a steel pipe that's that long and 3 inches diameter.
Kitty
litter.
litter.
Just full of kitty litter. Air comes in one side, runs through the kitty litter, that sucks all the moisture out, goes on the other side.
Do you have to change the kitty litter out occasionally?
I never have.
Still works.
It still works. It's
a good idea for the folks out there. Yeah. Okay, let's get into 3D printing.
Oh, yeah.
We just had to catch up with everybody, let everyone, know what's going on.
Yeah, it's important.
This is something that we had talked about today. We were coming up with our topics for the day, as we do, and lately I've felt really overwhelmed when I get online.
Okay.
And I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for things to talk about, and I'm just like, I'm seeing so many new like little niche products.
It's like a barrage of news stories.
It would be really easy to pick a few out and be like, hey, have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Have you heard about this new fledgling technology?
Yeah.
And then it got me thinking, like, how much of it actually makes it? How much of it actually is impactful?
Right.
And goes the distance and people start to use?
Right.
Way less.
Yeah. That's a valid question, because you and I have seen behind the scenes on some things as well. And I've seen situations where I know the reality and then I see the press release and they don't always match up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, things are, at the end of the day, everyone is like, we're in a business, we're in an industry, and we're trying to increase adoption of whatever tools that everyone is using. And we do that through the news, like everyone does. And it really doesn't even matter what the industry is. It's just the reality of marketing today. It's strange.
Speaking of marketing and these tools, there's a company that we've talked about a lot in the past that's 3D printing houses.
Yeah.
And they've used marketing to their advantage. So much so.
And everyone should. Everyone should.
Well, everyone tries.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're actually making progress. I think they printed one house this year and they've broken ground on, I've seen some pictures where there are several homes in situ right now being built.
I don't know, like, the current state of things.
You want to see?
Yeah.
Would you like to have a look here?
Who are we talking about?
Icon.
All right. Icon.
Check this out.
Yeah, I do remember talking about Icon in the past.
There's at least 5 houses right there.
That's a rendering?
No, it's not.
I can't tell.
That's not a rendering.
Looking at it.
That's real dirt.
Down. Is it?
Yeah. Why would you render in all the broken ground back there and all that stuff?
It honestly, maybe it's your screen. That's really hard to tell.
It's real.
Okay, I'll trust you.
It's real. There's a man right there that's like partially covered. There's just too many details that a rendering wouldn't have.
What are you talking about?
Who's going to put the man in there?
Just like
halfway hidden. If they're going to model the person in, they're going to make sure they're in full view.
Okay, I agree with that.
Just little things like that.
I trust you. It just, because of how the type of screen this is and the angle I'm looking at it, it's very glossy.
Well, it's a real thing.
Those are all renders, right?
Yeah, that's a rendering. This is a rendering, clearly.
Okay.
Notice how there's no equipment or anything, even with the half-built house right there.
2 out of 3 of those are
render.
renders. But you're certain that one's not.
This is real. Look, it's got.
I can't see it.
There's packaging on like the wood and wrinkles.
Yeah. There's like dirt on the packaging. Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
There's an old junky hose that's in the frame.
Dude, you should be respectful to that hose.
Who knows what that thing's used for? Anyway, they're following through kind of on their stuff, so much so that you told me this little bit of news.
Yeah.
That tell us.
They won a contract from NASA to build roads on the moon.
And houses, right?
And yeah, houses and other, I think, type of infrastructure.
This is wild.
It is wild.
We'll come with more
$57
on
million.
That's how much they were given?
Yeah.
To just continue developing technology that would make it possible in an anti-gravity situation?
I mean, continue might be the word, because I guess they won a grant in 2020 for developing a platform to build houses on the moon. And now this is a follow-up to that. So probably, continue.
So is that what this is all for? Is this all just in an effort to like build homes on the moon? Do you think that was the original idea? And they're like, well, let's test it out by building 100 homes in Texas.
That would be very ambitious. And
what if?
Yeah.
It could be.
It could be, but I don't think so. I mean, it seems like that would be a huge distraction. And my guess is that this is probably profitable, but it's probably not like a huge cash cow. So,
it is now. According to the latest interview that I watched with some of the icon representatives. And what's made it become profitable is the median home price has gone up. So they've always said that these were going to cost about $400,000 a piece. And the market was slightly below that in Texas for a while. Yeah. So this was actually going to be more expensive than a traditional home. Okay. And since then, prices have gone up and they've held at $400,000.
Why would they do that? Why would they hold their price? And how much of the they're building basically the whole home, right? They're the contractor for the whole home.
I would assume so.
They're printing a portion of it.
They're only printing the walls.
Okay.
The foundation's still traditional pour.
But they're the contractor, they're the developer for the whole community, right?
I would assume so.
I don't understand why you would keep your price stable. Unless people weren't willing to pay a premium.
It's another sales tactic.
Well, maybe people weren't willing to pay a premium for the homes.
Well, they weren't before. And that's probably why they're holding that price point. Because they're like, hey, see, the market's now outrun us and we can hold to this price point.
That doesn't make it more profitable, though. If they didn't change their price.
No, it doesn't make it more profitable.
It would make it less profitable because the building materials have all gone up in price.
Sure. But no.
Yeah.
Because the building materials were probably priced out at their peak during the pandemic. So they probably came up with the $400,000 price point back then. And they probably can hold to that. Because actually building products have gone down. Yeah. They're trending downward.
Right. That's true.
So I don't know, maybe they are more profitable because prices are falling on building materials from when they set the $400,000 price point. But it is a benefit to them to be able to market the idea that, hey, now this is actually, for the first time ever, this is the more affordable home option.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's given them a chance at the moon.
And that's cool.
Have we ever really been to the moon?
That's where you want to go?
I mean, we haven't been back.
Okay, Kyrie.
Flat Earth, dude. No, I don't know. It's fun to think about.
Did you watch the Artemis
It's fun
launch?
To think about. I didn't.
Oh.
Why don't you tell us about it?
It was cool. I wish I was there in person. It was the largest rocket ever launched, I think. Yeah, I think.
Well, it sounds cool.
I'm pretty sure it's bigger than
Are we spreading misinformation?
Fake news. Yeah, fake news. No, I'm pretty certain that it was the largest rocket ever launched, and it was a joint. It's a joint program from all of the big name aerospace companies that you know of, and there are 3D printed parts in that program, both plastics and metals.
You love to see it.
You
love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, aside from these companies that are doing some cool stuff with 3D printing, getting back to the companies they're making new technology, they're making new things, it's hard to really find what to grasp onto.
Yeah, you just have everyone shouting into the same space.
So at what point do we know something works? Is it when GM or Ford is we're using this technology in-house? Is it even then that you can trust it? Or is there a step further? At what point do you start taking something seriously? That's not ours. That's not a Stratasys product. That's not an Exact Metal thing or Velo. Yeah. At what point do you take another competitor seriously?
Yeah. So it's definitely not lost on me that we're part of this.
Oh yeah.
We put out content into the, ethos, ether, whatever, exosphere ourselves.
Yes.
So we are part of this.
Yeah.
Let's just put that on the table.
Okay.
I think it's most powerful when you are hearing this from a third party that has no apparent connection or no incentive.
Somebody who paid full price for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if they're a user of the technology, then perhaps they have incentive to increase adoption, even on the user end.
The trouble I have with this is kind of like YouTube, right? YouTube's actually a pretty raw form of this. We've all, if you're a YouTube consumer, you've watched people grow. You have to have at least one channel that you saw start from scratch and work their way in from being kind of regular Joes to now there's paid advertisements on their channel.
Yeah. Or sponsored content.
I'm going to use these brand names and I'm going to use the channel just because they'll probably never hear of it and it won't matter. But Grind Hard Plumbing. Okay. These are a bunch of kids up in like northern Idaho that build these crazy stupid Barbie Jeeps. That's how they got famous. Is they put like 4-wheeler chassis under Barbie Jeeps and they're really fun. Yeah. And it's a fun channel to follow. But they started getting given products, and you can see in the background the products that are really getting used. And there was one, I've talked to you about this, the Arc Droid. You don't remember this? This is a plasma cutter.
I do remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most plasma cutters are on an XY gantry style system. Yep. And, they just hover over the top of your sheet metal. They cut it out. This Arc Droid is on like an arm system. So it's got like a single elbow.
It's like an Epson robot.
Yeah. So it's still working on an XY, but it's not on a gantry. It's on an arm. Yeah. And it can do some cool things, and I think it's allowed for some flexibilities. And you could tell they were really using it when they first had it. Mm-hmm. It's probably been 6 months or so now. And now all of a sudden they have like a 10x10 table. And I don't know if it's like a Langmuir. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Well, maybe that proved the utility of the automated plasma cutter. And it was like that.
A stepping stone?
Stepping stone. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's possible.
It's totally possible. And I know they still use it, but when they do now, it's like, it has, I think, a trace feature, which I think is actually pretty useful. Like you could take, any shape and you could trace over that shape and it will remember the path. Yeah. And then it can go ahead and cut that later. So like say you had an intake manifold or something, you needed to match up a flange, you could do that. Yeah. Which you wouldn't be able to do with like a traditional gantry style system.
I mean, I don't really have a problem with product sponsorship and placement like this.
But just don't tell me it's like your favorite tool ever if you don't know yet.
Yeah, that's just my point. Be realistic.
I like to watch
like transparent.
The 1-year reviews on stuff. Have you ever seen these?
No.
So whether you're looking at a pocket knife, a watch, whatever, like I like watching the 1-year reviews to see how it's held up over time and use. Oh, yeah. And like, these are the things that I love about it. These are the things that have kind of bothered me or that I might change. Yeah. Those are my favorite.
I actually did watch one of those recently.
For what product?
It was called Freck Trade.
The heck?
It's like an automated trading algorithm and tool.
So it's not a mechanical product.
No, it's an algorithm.
Okay. Well, yeah. How was that?
The guy did not make enough money to justify the cost of it.
Okay.
So I was like, perfect.
So you won't do it?
So I probably won't do it. Have you seen, do you know A-Bomb?
Yeah. Yeah. I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah. So cool dude. But people came to know him as like the manual machinist who had big tools and crammed into a tiny shop, and he just did what he could, and it was very approachable. Mm-hmm. And now he's got a new shop, new big CNC equipment, some sponsored stuff. He's got a milling machine that has like a 20-foot bed or something. It's huge. And you can see in the comments, people are like, oh, he's sold out, he's changed, thing. Because
it would be hard to say, no,
why would you?
I like my dirt floor shop.
Yeah, why would you?
It's cool,
So I have no problem with that, as long as people are transparent about it. And when you become like a mouthpiece for something, or you give every excuse to it, that's when I think you start to have an issue. But we're talking about kind of two different things now, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, in what way? Tell me.
Well, it could be the same if you went to a news outlet and they're portraying themselves as a news outlet, maybe an industry specific news outlet, but you can tell that they're just being fed press releases from companies. Like, to me, that's not something that should happen.
And that's my point with us. I think that's where we come in.
Yeah.
This is my take on this podcast in general, is like, I don't want to be that. Yeah. I don't want to just be a mouthpiece, not that we're this big amplifier, but I don't want to just take these press releases from Stratasys or these other companies and say, and we've done this in the past. We've dissected some of those.
We had a whole episode on not a whole episode, but we had a significant portion of an episode on how to read a press release.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. And I want to be trusted by the people who listen to us that, hey, like they're going to take a press release and they're going to boil it down to the basic points and give us what their take on what's important about it is.
And I'll say when we go in and we consult with people, like there are definitely times where we say, this is not the right thing for you. There are times where we say, this is not the right thing for you or anyone else. And there are other times when we say like, this is not the right thing for you. But something coming down the line is. Yeah. And that's what we do in person. And we would do this we would do that on the pod too.
My point is, even though we sell Stratus's equipment, I don't want to be, oh dude, they just back them no matter what, you know, true blue through and through. And like, as much as I want to do that and be that, you know, if we're falling short somewhere, I want to protect myself and my own name. But I also want to be like, hey, you know, we're struggling a little bit right here, right now. Like, let's think about some other technologies for the time being. Here's old reliable, like FDM, for example. Like, I like being able to fall back on something that we know for sure is good. Not saying that we've put the wagon before the horse ever, but I just don't want to have anyone have the feeling when they listen to us that I have when I watch a certain channel that's like, oh, this is the best thing ever. We just unboxed it yesterday.
Yeah, right.
And like, of course, everything's pretty good like the day you unbox it. If it's bad from day one, then you probably don't even put the content out.
I think the underlying tone here is like, you're just tired of searching for stories for this pod and then having to ask yourself like,
what's worth talking about?
What's worth talking about? What do I feel safe talking about?
Yeah, I mean, well, like, and we're going to get into this later in the episode. I do want to talk about some like budget-friendly printers. It's the holidays.
Yeah.
You know, we want to talk about...
I guarantee we're both getting questions like that. What printer should I buy?
Yeah. So I want to talk about some entry-level printers that like I do recommend. I wanted to see if there was anything new out right now. So I just did a quick Google search and what comes up? Those like generic... the 10 best printers under $500 in 2022. And you click on those, and we've all done it. Like, and we've all bought things off the first page we opened. Like, oh, this is number one on the list.
Have we all done that?
Maybe not. I've definitely I've locked in at least to a product and been like, oh, that was number one on multiple lists.
It puts it on your radar.
Yeah. And then you do your research and you find out more about it. But these are all affiliate linked things. Like, these are all websites that make their money off you clicking and buying. And not that everyone's not smart enough to just know that, but...
And there's no problem with that. The problem here is like these people, the writers, if it's even a person, have no firsthand experience with what they're supposedly reviewing, you know? So it's like maybe one person writes a review or a company puts out a press release or something. And then it's this game of telephone where that goes to this person, and then that person is the source for this person, and then it's this big circular thing, and you end up with a website where it's like the top 10 things, and it's just a salad of keywords that probably hit the Google SEO.
The salad.
It's probably just Google SEO, like from top down, with Amazon affiliate links.
Sure, and that even gets into the review aspect. Like, and this is why I like the YouTube reviews, 1 year in review, because you can kind of be critical of the YouTube owner, the channel owner, and you can watch their past videos and be like, okay, they're a reliable source, and watch their stuff. Or you just get a feel for who's leaving the review.
The one thing I don't understand how it could possibly be effective are these YouTube videos where it's just these reviews being read by a text-to-speech program.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no way.
How could anyone possibly buy things off that?
I don't know. I'm not going to get into this one because I have a take on this and I'm going to avoid getting there. But yeah, I agree. It's probably less than trustworthy.
Have you ever watched a full one of those videos? Be honest.
I don't know if I've watched a full one, but I've probably watched more than I care to admit of one. Just like, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and it's like, okay, this is probably not trustworthy. But like even Amazon reviews, have you ever read the bad reviews?
I don't really look at Amazon reviews.
Okay, well I do occasionally, right? If it's got like 3 or 4 reviews or even 1,000, like 1,000's probably too many. When it's got, let's say, double digits or less, I like to read the positive and the negative. And a lot of times when you read the negative, you're like, this person was the problem. Like you can tell just by reading the review, like this person was the problem. Like they didn't read the description or they didn't understand how to use it or whatever. And they're just mad it didn't work like exactly like they hoped it would. So I don't even trust like Amazon reviews.
You don't trust people.
I trust some people.
Yeah.
I'm selective.
But you really shouldn't trust like anonymous online accounts.
Yeah, that's my point is I hope that, whatever we say on this pod is like something that the people are like, okay, they'll shoot it straight.
There was an article I read maybe four weeks ago about a person in the industry. And I'm sitting here reading this. I was like, this is like a glowing review of this person. And in the byline, you know who wrote it? That person.
No.
Yeah, I swear to you.
Please forward that to me.
I'll have to hunt it down.
That is awful. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. We want to stay away from that.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to the printer list. Okay. Let's just give out a couple printers. What's the number one?
A couple printers.
Okay, when someone comes and asks you, like, hey, Tyler, like, I'm going to buy a printer for my little brother for Christmas.
Okay.
What printer are you recommending?
I go to Google. I type in
best
printer for Christmas, and I just tell them the first one that comes up. I don't know.
Really?
So there are a few.
You're not even real anymore. When's the last time you even touched a printer? Why don't you tell our print heads when's the last time you even printed something?
Define print.
Oh my gosh.
I need a legal definition before I answer that question.
Bad.
It depends on the definition of is.
Okay. Well,
no, but for real, there are a few names that are respected in that category. And so I usually would refer people to brand names in like brands,
not specific models,
instead of specific models, because I don't know the details. And usually, within a specific brand, there's going to be a few different models at different price points. Mm-hmm. Just let them decide.
Yeah. Well, what are those brands?
Prusa.
Okay. That's number one for me.
Yeah.
It's a little above some people's budget. If they're not looking to spend like over $300.
Yeah.
But in terms of longevity, it's the best. It's the best desktop printer.
Yeah. I was helping a coworker search for one on the local classifieds or even eBay just to see if you could find one that was like maybe a kit not put together or something like that.
Lightly used.
Yeah. Something like that.
Anything?
Not a lot.
Really? People hang on to these.
Yeah. I saw a lot of unknown name printers. Taz is one.
Have you heard of a FlashForge?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't have a lot of firsthand experience. I have no firsthand experience with that.
So speaking of reviews, this one gets decent reviews on Amazon if you do put any stock in that.
What does?
The FlashForge Adventurer.
Yeah. I think I've heard
it's like
some
$300
things.
And it's got a full enclosure.
I mean, you're going to get what
off the shelf.
You're going to get what you pay for. Creality.
That was going to be my number 2. Creality. Like we have customers who have the Stratasys systems and still have like some Crealities on the side just for like if they have new interns or people they need to get familiar with 3D printing, like they still use them.
Yeah.
Or teach people how to work on machines with those.
If you're not trying to run a business, they're good. They're cool tools to have in the home. I'm a big proponent of putting a printer in your house at whatever price point you can.
Even if it's resin?
Sure.
A resin system?
Experiment. I mean, no one's going to go out and buy $100,000 resin system for the home. Like,
oh, yeah? Just kidding. I'm not.
No.
If I had 2 nickels to rub together, I might start dreaming.
I've seen people buy like, old professional systems that are way after end of life.
Yeah.
For like hundreds of dollars, and they'll come and be like, "Hey, what can I do with this?" And you're just like, "Nothing."
Some people make them work though.
Yeah, they do.
Some people make them work.
I mean, if you're an engineering firm and like you're willing to dedicate your resources into making this printer work instead of making a product work, great, probably can.
Not a good idea. Not recommended.
Not a good idea for most people.
Yeah. If you're a hobbyist, if you're just some dude that's got 50 projects in his garage going on, maybe like you or me, like that might be a fun project.
Maybe, but I've found over the years that those are usually complete waste of time.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? You'd rather just spend...
That's an admission.
Okay. So you'd rather put someone down this road if they were looking to get into 3D printing.
Oh, yeah. Than an old pro machine, for sure. Unless you were going to harvest it for parts, or if you were thinking, maybe I can turn this into something that's going to become a source of income, like third-party tools that live on top of the machine, the platform, or something that's like uniquely tied to that. Don't buy an old printer that's up for auction at a university or,
definitely not a university printer.
Yeah,
those things get used very, very poorly.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going desktop printer this holiday season, those are FDM recommendations.
Yeah, I would say like a Mark III or a Mark IV Prusa.
I still haven't heard anything about their mid-size, what is it, like a 15-inch cube machine. I still don't know anyone that has one. If you're a listener and you have one, I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
In fact, while I'm asking, if there is one of these, like these, you looking at our time? We're good. We're good.
Yeah, I'm just looking.
If you happen to have one of these machines that we may or may not have brought up, and you're like, hey, this serves a purpose, this is a niche product, but here's how I use it. Like, we want to hear about it. We want to know about it. And maybe we'll talk about it if you can.
But I don't know if I trust that.
Well, we'll do some digging. We'll do some back and forth, figure it out. Yeah. Anyway, that's the Christmas list. Those are some of the names we trust in the benchtop market. Creality, Prusa, and
Taz.
That's
one. I mean,
FlashForge is another one that I'm seeing at a good price point, and it's a maybe. I know nothing. I don't know anyone that has one. For me, just looking at it, it has an enclosure. So to me, it seems like a bargain to have a system that comes with an enclosure, so you don't have to build something after.
I do have one friend that has a printer that he uses quite a bit, and it's one of those 3-in-1 machines where it will do printing, and then it has a little
laser cutter
on it, and then it does something else. Oh, you can put like a little router on it.
CNC?
Yeah, what is that? It's a 3-in-1. Google it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because it's one of the top names in that. And he seems to like it. He does cool stuff with it. He just built a Geiger counter.
First thing that comes up. Best 3-in-1 3D printers of 2022.
Exactly.
I am going to click on it, though. Is it the Snapmaker?
Yeah, Snapmaker. That's what it is.
Introducing the Snapmaker.
He likes it.
He does? How much do these cost?
When the first
I think they're
Snapmaker
over
was
$1,000.
introduced, it raised over $2 million and connected over 10,000
Oh, this was a
users
startup.
in an active community.
On
Kickstarter. Yeah.
We're bringing the next generation of advanced technology.
I wonder whatever
this
happened to that
iconic design.
Anchor
The new
3D
Snapmaker
printer
is
that we saw
faster,
on Kickstarter.
smarter.
Was it Kickstarter?
Should I look it up right now?
Yeah.
Live action?
Anchor 3D printer. ANKER. Is actually, I think they came under fire recently. Them and a company called Eufy. They were selling home security cameras that maybe weren't so secure.
Does Eufy also make those little vacuums?
What vacuums?
The little smart vacuums.
I don't know. Maybe. EUFI.
Yeah, Eufy. Right there. They make little vacuums.
So Eufy is Anchor.
Yeah, looks like it's part of the Anchor Innovations group. It's the #1 most funded 3D printer on Kickstarter. So
yeah, remember we did a story on that.
Yeah.
Is it available today? Is it shipping? Can you tell?
They've got a shop extension on their website.
What's that counter?
It says, hurry, offer ends December 15th. Pre-order the M5, get a coupon
pre-order.
pack for $1.
So it's
pre-order.
Still on pre-order. Man.
Still a good-looking machine.
Yeah, but we talked about that probably 6 months ago.
Yeah. These things take time.
I guess so. Look at that benchy.
It looks like the benchy. Oh, no. I was going to say, it looks like it's got a little string on it there.
It does.
They didn't take off. It's not. It's just the little zoom
okay.
mark. Built-in AI camera monitoring. It's still there. It's still there. It hasn't been delivered to the people. But what has is the Prusa 15-inch cube model. Anyway, it is 15 inches, I think. Let me double check. Do you remember what it was called?
Nope.
Dang it. 3D printers.
It's got to be there. Beep, beep, boop, boop, boop.
Don't.
Boop, 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 boop.
Is it the MK3? It's not the MK3.
No, it's not.
You can buy these assembled or unassembled. Oh, it's the original Prusa XL.
Oh, XL, that's right.
36 by 36 by 36 centimeters. Okay, that's just under 15 inches. So I was just off.
$2,000.
This is still pre-order.
Okay.
So it still hasn't been.
$2,000. I mean, that's pretty spendy for a home tool.
Shapeoko just released their, I think it's like a 5th gen.
Each of us have
machine.
tools that were that expensive.
Well, the new Shapeoko is like $3,500.
Do you think
it started out being like $1,000 machine? When it was a Kickstarter, it was like $1,000, and it's steadily gone up. But its capability is incredible now.
Yeah,
the newest machine is amazing. I kind of want to trade mine in.
The one tool I want at home is a laser cutter.
Oh my gosh!
I want to get into that sweet Utah wall art scene.
Oh my gosh, you're such a nerd. What's wrong with the plasma cutter?
It's metal. Do you think Utah housewives want metal signs on their walls?
You want wood?
Yeah.
Paper?
You want it painted wood. You want painted wood.
Do you paint the wood before you laser it?
No.
Okay. Just checking. What do I know? All right. Anyway, that's really it. When is this? They'll be processed. The pre-orders will be processed in the second half of 2023. What the heck does that even mean?
So they're early pre-order.
So nobody even has one of these yet.
No, why are you talking about it?
I just wanted to get people pumped. I'm doing free advertising for Prusa. The XL, it's a $2,000 machine.
Do you want to share your affiliate link right now?
No. So I am still very interested to see this thing and how reliable it's going to be. Prusa's been really, for the most part, a reliable hobby system, and they last for years to come. And they have good customer service.
You're getting into a size that's difficult to control.
Which we've talked about. Yeah. When you scale up problems.
Yeah.
So anyway, any last words of wisdom? You have a YouTube of the day, perhaps, that we could leave the customers with? The print heads, I should say.
So there's a channel that I've been watching a lot over the past few months. And he's taken a pastime of mine and turned it into a lucrative YouTube channel. It's called 2 Minute Papers.
And what's the pastime?
Looking up research papers.
Oh.
And then
you do like to do that.
And then telling people what you just read.
Okay, so
that's what he does.
I just looked this up.
Yeah.
And it looks like everything's AI related. Every single thing.
A lot of it recently. Actually,
everything you've been talking about lately has been AI related.
Not everything.
You guys are on the same wavelength. Do you just watch his channel?
No. But he is usually on the forefront of this stuff because he can whip up a research review within a day or two of the paper being released. And I'm not looking up AI research papers. I'm usually looking up printing related research papers, but he will hit these way before the news media hits these because he's actually looking at the research.
And they're probably watching his videos to get the
more
Cliff
and more
Notes
now,
version.
More and more now. So there's one that's actually worth talking about. It's an NVIDIA. It's this
3D
latest
models.
Yeah, check this out.
Dear fellow scholars, this is 2-Minute Papers with Dr. Károly Zsolnai Fehér.
I love
Today,
this guy.
we are going to see how this new AI can create entire virtual worlds out of thin air, and to do all that, we don't even need to be a professional artist. This can do so much. But how much exactly? Well, let's give it a hard time and see what it can do through 4 really cool examples, and then it gets even better. I'll tell you in a moment why.
He's like,
he's got me on edge.
Pause it. He's like this perfect combination of complete dullness.
He's like the little guy in a video game that you like meet in the back alley that's like telling you where to go find the next clue or the next thing to get you to the next stage.
His voice is like so monotone, but it somehow still has energy behind it.
Yeah.
And he's got a few sayings.
He does some weird inflections.
Yeah,
with his
strange,
voice here.
It?
So what does this do?
So it generates 3D models with textures based on prompts. So just like some of the image generators that we've been playing around with.
Yeah.
Except it does it in 3D and it will skin them. And they can all be varied. So not only will it vary the underlying 3D mesh.
So you could 3D print this.
You could, potentially. I don't know if it's probably closer to like a game asset that's not necessarily a solid model.
But you said we can take the skins though, right?
You could probably 3D print it, and you could probably 3D print it in color.
Oh man.
But there's a couple things that he does where if he's getting to a point in the research paper where it's like the punchline or like the crescendo, he has this little icon that shows up in the top right, and it's just this little 2D icon with a hand on papers, and he's like, hold on to your papers.
Hold on to your papers.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
And then usually after he explains that, he'll be like, what a time to be alive. It's so funny.
This is like super nerd stuff.
Yeah, NVIDIA is really
you're a geek,
from
dude.
A smaller car, the doors and windows
you love
now
this
have different placements. This is an excellent showcase of an AI technique that actually understands
look at all these variations
what it is generating. And now, here comes my favorite. They also promise text-guided shape generation. Does this ring a bell? Oh yes, we can prompt this technique like we can prompt a text-to-image AI like DALL-E 2. That would be amazing. But have a look. This is a previous technique.
So he hits on
to
a
give
really important
different
point
animals tiger stripes, or actually, I am not even sure what this is trying to do, or make these dogs a bit fluffier.
This is the previous best from earlier this year.
Unfortunately.
So it's improved that much.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The pace at which this stuff is improving is
scary.
Remarkable.
Okay. Look at this. Wow. Now the new method.
And look, I mean, it's fusing a sheep with a tiger,
with
a pig.
Tyler really is impressed by this. I'm impressed
really
by it too, but I'll be honest. When I look up YouTube videos, I'm looking at something that's going to help me.
Entertainment?
No, not well. Yeah, a little bit, but I like things that are applicable to my current projects.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
This is probably not applicable to your current projects, but this is really applicable to our industry.
It's true. Oh my gosh, yeah, we talked about this 2 episodes ago or an episode ago where we were talking about how AI could affect engineering.
Oh yeah,
in like 3D modeling.
It's been kind of a theme for most of the year in different capacities. We had a whole series on automation. Like we had like a 3-part series.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
We didn't plan it that way though, did we?
No, we didn't. We just were harping on that topic all summer.
Well, we're running out of juice, Tyler.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to tell the print heads before we shut her down?
We will not be better. We are not sorry.
Tyler's unapologetic.
But we do appreciate you.
Hey, I have a new ad.
Oh,
from Juicy Filaments.
Oh, great.
I have not proofread this. Do you dare?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why this is not live.
Okay, good. If this is bad, bleep it out. Here we go. Hey, print heads. Feels like the holidays are upon us, and I think we can all agree that if you love someone, you need to spend too much money on them. That's why this holiday season, Juicy Filaments has removed pricing from our Juicy Filaments store, because we all know Juicy Filaments are expensive, and seeing a big price tag while you're online shopping can push you away from expressing how much you love your fellow print heads. Don't worry about the price of Juicy Filaments until 2023. Just order the filaments you know they'll love, and we'll bill you next year. Shop carefree this holiday season and drench your loved ones in Juicy Filaments. 4 out of 5 filamentalists agree Juicy Filaments are wonderfully expensive. I told you what he told me the other day in the hallway when I bumped into the CEO of Juicy Filaments.
What?
He said, "You can't afford Juicy Filaments." I was like, "When can we expect to see Juicy Filaments?" And he's like, "You can't afford Juicy Filaments."
I guarantee as soon as he said that, a light bulb went off in his head and he wrote that ad in his head right after making that little snarky comment.
Well, you know, I have seen some Juicy Filaments merch make its way around the office. I don't know if he's planting it.
I have a holographic sticker. I have a fridge magnet. And I have a regular sticker.
I can't wait till the sweaters come out.
Oh, sweaters?
You never know. At the rate the merch is showing up, it's definitely showing up faster than the actual print materials.
I know. It's purely a merch company at this point, I think.
I love it. All right. Well, on that note, happy holidays to everyone. Enjoy time off. If you don't have any, sucks to be you. But definitely spend some intentional time with your loved ones.
Yeah, definitely. Spend some time with your family, for sure.
Tyler doesn't have loved ones, so he doesn't know how to react to that statement.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Tyler's a robot. And on that note, we'll talk to you later.
See ya.
See you later, print heads.